YouTube, Genius in Exile here. Sorry I've been absent lately. I've been having some life changes and dealing with death in the family and doing some traveling out of the country. But I'm back and I want to make some homemade deodorant. So this has all natural ingredients and it definitely works. I've been using it for a little while, and if it can help me, it can help anybody. And it only has a few natural ingredients in it. It's really easy to make and it's not expensive at all, and you can customize it however you like. So what I have here is a 1/4 cup of baking soda, cornstarch 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil, and a little bit of bentonite clay. Now the thing with bentonite clay, it strips the heavy metals out of your body, so you have to use a utensil that is not metal or expose it to any metal when you use it, because what it'll do is it'll just adhere to the heavy metal and kind of take all the good stuff out of it. So I already have my coconut oil measured out. I'm going to pour in the baking soda. Actually, I think I went a teeny tiny bit over on it, so I'm going to pour in just short of what I've got in this cup. Pour that back in here, and then pour out about a 1/4 cup of just plain cornstarch, and then using a porcelain spoon, and then about half a teaspoon of bentonite clay. What you want to do is mix this up, and it's going to take a little while. That's why it's really best to melt the coconut oil, so it just makes it a little bit easier. Also makes it easier to do it with 2 hands, but if you're filming and you're making it, you do what you can. So it ends up being somewhat like a paste, but it turns out pretty much like this, except a little bit thicker. I got to get down to the bottom. Then what I'm going to do is add some essential oils. I'm going to add a few drops of tangerine oil and some tea tree. Now the tea tree is an antibacterial, so that'll help fight off any of the ugly BO germs. Just because it's natural doesn't mean you can be stinky. So let me get this all mixed up and I'll be right back. So I got it all mixed up, and this is pretty much the consistency. It's pretty soft, but I did melt it, so when it gets to be close to room temperature, it ought to solidify a lot more. And what I did, so you can see it a little easier, is I put into this little jar. I'm probably going to have to take some off the top so I can put the top on it, because the top is metal. Well, no, I might just use a Tatler lid on there because it's plastic. And just put a ring on it, and then every morning, take about that much and put it in my armpit. So I'll be right back to show you. Okay, so you take a small amount, rub it on. It's a little different applying this yourself rather than rubbing those bars on, but I've actually seen people pack it into those deodorant bars, and once it cools it becomes a lot more solid, and you can actually rub it on. You should probably be a little bit more careful because it is pretty soft. So I suppose if you're wearing something sleeveless, you might want to, rub it a bit extra, see if you can smear it a bit. You can also take a towel and kind of rub off some of the extra. But there you go. Do-it-yourself deodorant. Only a few simple ingredients. Doesn't take very long to make, and actually surprisingly effective. So there you go. SHTF, you can even make your own deodorant. Take care. Wait, this recipe makes 2 of these jars, a little bit less than half full, or a little more than half empty. So it's enough for you and your sweetheart. There you go. YouTube, Genius in Exile here. Tummy bothering you? Well, I have the solution. DIY Alka Seltzer. Alka Seltzer actually only has a couple of ingredients, really. It has bicarbonate of soda, baking soda, and a little bit of citric acid. Some do-it-yourself recipes I've seen have a little bit of fructose or maltodextrin, but I'm actually going to leave that out. I'm just going to stick with the basics. And you have to be careful with the citric acid. You actually can't expose it to the air for very long, else it starts to clump. That's what I'm doing. It's real easy. Half a spoonful citric acid. It's basically 1 part baking soda to 2 parts citric acid. Get the top back on there. Just mix it up. Quick and easy. And with citric acid, because it clumps, sometimes if you live in a drier climate, you can pack these into small pill forms and make pills, but I just do it like this and keep it in one of these glass containers right here. So now, a little glass of water, put a spoonful of this in there, and it's fizzing. Whoa, Nelly, it's fizzing. Please don't go over. It's a little bit less fizz than Alka Seltzer, but still has the gross taste. So there you go. Homemade Alka Seltzer. Hope your tummy feels better.